When this dad became a father to his little girl, he never expected his once quiet and ordinary days to become so full of love. Every day after work, the moment he opened the door, she was always the first one to greet him. With her tiny little steps, she would run straight into his arms, wrapping him in the softest hug and pouring all the love and longing she had felt all day into that one embrace. Somehow, even the exhaustion he carried home with him would disappear in an instant. Sometimes, if Dad didn't pick her up right away, she would get a little upset and throw a tiny tantrum. At dinner, she always insisted on sitting right next to him, constantly leaning over to share her strangest little thoughts. The table might get a little messy because of her, but the quiet dinners he once knew were gone for good. With her endless chatter filling the room, there was no longer any loneliness at the table. When bedtime came, she still refused to simply lie down and sleep. She had to snuggle up beside Dad, telling him about everything funny that happened during the day, asking for bedtime stories, and whispering all kinds of little secrets. She wouldn't be satisfied until she had told her dad every little thought she had been holding onto all day. Even when Dad had to work late at night, she always found a way to keep him company. While he was busy working, she would quietly sneak up behind him, climb onto his back, and plant a soft little kiss on his shoulder just to make him stop working for a moment. Dad always thought of her as nothing more than a tiny little girl who loved to cling to him, act spoiled, and rely on him for everything. Until one late night, after working hard all day, exhaustion finally caught up with him. Sitting at his desk, he lowered his head for just a moment, and before he knew it, he had fallen asleep. When he slowly woke up, the first thing he felt was a gentle warmth resting on his shoulder. He opened his eyes and was surprised to find a tiny jacket draped over him. It was the little jacket his daughter wore all the time. She had apparently walked past him, noticed that her dad had fallen asleep from exhaustion, and worried that he might get cold. So she quietly took off her own jacket and carefully covered him with it. The moment he realized what she had done, tears immediately filled his eyes. He had always been the one standing in front, protecting his family from the storm and working tirelessly to provide for them. But somewhere along the way, he had forgotten that behind him was always a tiny little girl, quietly watching over him in the sweetest and most innocent way she knew how. He used to think she was the one who constantly needed him, filling his everyday life with little moments of affection. But he finally realized that, when he wasn't looking, his little girl had already begun learning how to love like a grown-up. And that night, she quietly draped that love over his shoulders.